DNA, creativity, and the nature of genius. But here's a deeper question. Can genius itself be genetic? Scientists know intelligence is partly heritable, but creativity is more complex. It often arises from the collision of traits, curiosity, memory, pattern recognition, and even disorders that push the brain into unusual wiring. Leonardo combined left brain precision with right brain imagination in ways that are almost never seen in one person.
But the science. On this channel, we decode real DNA, uncover lost ancestries, and bring ancient genomes to life through cinematic storytelling. If that excites you, subscribe for weekly insights. Like the video to support science-based history, and drop a comment. Your questions help guide what we explore next.
Perhaps his DNA carried rare mutations that enhanced neural plasticity. Or perhaps his genius was environmental, a product of Renaissance Florence, where art, science, and philosophy merged. The truth is, his DNA may give us clues, but it will never fully explain the fire inside him. The twist of the living legacy. Here's the twist. For centuries, historians assumed the only way to solve the mystery was by digging up Leonardo's body. But the truth is more surprising. The solution came not from his grave, but from the living. By proving that Leonardo's Y chromosome is still alive, scientists have shown that his DNA was never lost. It survived quietly for 6 centuries, carried by descendants who never knew the treasure inside them. Leonardo da Vinci, the man we thought was cut off from history, was always still with us, written into the code of life itself. The ethical question. But this discovery raises an ethical question. Should we even try to fully reconstruct Leonardo's DNA? Some argue it's invasive, turning a man into a specimen. Others say it could dishonor his memory. But many believe that, just as Leonardo studied human anatomy to unlock the mysteries of life, he would have wanted his own biology to be explored for the sake of knowledge. If we could one day sequence his full genome, would we? And if we did, could we even attempt to clone him? These are questions not of science fiction, but of real-world ethics that humankind may soon face. The legacy of DNA. So what does this mean for us? It means we now have the tools to explore questions once impossible. Could Leonardo's left-handedness be genetic? Did he carry unique traits linked to creativity? Could his health conditions be confirmed through DNA?
Scientists finally solved the DNA mystery of Leonardo da Vinci, and it's not what we thought. What if everything we thought we knew about Leonardo da Vinci, the genius of the Renaissance, was about to be turned upside down? For centuries, Leonardo's brilliance has fascinated the world. He was an artist, an engineer, a scientist, and a dreamer who seemed to live centuries ahead of his time. But one mystery has always remained unsolved: Leonardo's DNA. Could his biology hold the hidden key to his unmatched creativity? For years, scientists struggled to uncover this truth, but now a breakthrough has finally arrived, and the answer is not what we thought. Stay with me, because the story of Leonardo's DNA is stranger, more surprising, and more inspiring than anyone could have predicted. The legend and the mystery. When we hear the name Leonardo da Vinci, we instantly think of the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and the Vitruvian Man. His notebooks are filled with flying machines, war inventions, and anatomical sketches that still astonish modern scientists. But Leonardo the man remains mysterious. Unlike many of his contemporaries, he never married and left no children. His grave in France was disturbed centuries ago. His bones were scattered and mixed with others, making it nearly impossible to identify which were truly his. For centuries, this meant one thing. If Leonardo's remains couldn't be found, then his DNA, the very essence of who he was lost forever, or so it seemed. But here's the intriguing question. Could his DNA explain some of his unusual traits? His left-handedness, his reversed handwriting, his vegetarianism, his striking physical beauty described by contemporaries, his possible health conditions. And most importantly, could it reveal the secret behind his genius? Leonardo's body and the vanished remains. Leonardo died in 1519 in Amboise, France, under the service of King Francis I. He was buried in the chapel of Saint Florentin, but the church was later destroyed during the French Revolution. His remains were disturbed, scattered, and in part lost forever. When archaeologists later tried to recover them, they could not confirm with certainty which bones, if any, belonged to him. This absence created one of the most haunting questions of Renaissance history. How do you study the biology of a man whose body has vanished? For centuries, the answer was simply, you can't. But modern science has a way of rewriting impossibilities. The genealogical quest. In the early 2000s, two Italian researchers, Alessandro Vezzosi and Agnese Sabato, began a mission that sounded impossible. Reconstruct Leonardo's family tree. How do you trace a man who lived 600 years ago, left no children, and whose grave is unreliable? The answer was the Y chromosome. This special piece of DNA passes almost unchanged from father to son. If Leonardo's male relatives could be found, they might still carry his genetic signature. The researchers spent 30 years digging through ancient archives, church records, forgotten marriage documents, and dusty legal papers. Imagine flipping through parchment from the 1400s just to track one family. Their detective work paid off. They built a family tree of over 400 individuals, stretching across 21 generations. And the best part? Some of Leonardo's descendants were alive today. Not through children he fathered, but through his father's line and half-brothers. The legend of Leonardo wasn't lost in time. It was quietly alive in the DNA of ordinary families who never imagined they carried the blood of a genius. Science meets family. From this family tree, scientists reached out to living male descendants. 6 of them agreed to provide DNA samples. The suspense was high. Would they even match? When the results came back, scientists were stunned. Their Y chromosomes were identical. The genetic line of Leonardo da Vinci had survived unbroken for more than 600 years. To double-check, archaeologists turned to the da Vinci family tomb in India, Italy. There, they found bone fragments from Leonardo's father and half-brothers. And yes, the DNA matched the living relatives. For the first time, scientists had a verified genetic fingerprint of the da Vinci family, a code that could one day confirm Leonardo's DNA, wherever it might appear. Imagine the excitement. After centuries of being lost, Leonardo's genetic story was back on the map. The hunt for direct evidence. But here's the next big question. Could we find Leonardo's own DNA? Some scientists turned to artifacts. A lock of hair said to belong to Leonardo surfaced in a U.S. collection. Others searched his notebooks, hoping that microscopic flakes of skin or saliva might still be there. Sounds incredible, right? But there's a huge challenge: contamination. After 500 years, countless people have touched Leonardo's notebooks, paintings, and belongings. Distinguishing his DNA from all the others is like finding a single grain of sand on a beach. And yet, with the confirmed Y chromosome, researchers finally had a benchmark. If any hair or bone sample is truly Leonardo's, it must match that genetic signature. The hunt for his personal DNA isn't over, it's ongoing. But already the mystery is closer to being solved than ever before. What DNA could reveal about Leonardo? Why does Leonardo's DNA matter? Because it could unlock hidden dimensions of his life. His left-handedness, unusual in his time, may be genetic. His tendency to write backward, possibly linked to being mirror-dominant, could show a neurological basis. Some researchers wonder whether he had synesthesia, the ability to merge senses, hearing colors, seeing sounds, a condition that sometimes accompanies creativity. DNA could even clarify his health conditions. Was he lactose intolerant? Did he suffer from ADHD or dyslexia? Could the stroke that paralyzed his right hand in later life have been genetic? In the double helix of DNA, there might be traces of why Leonardo saw the world in ways no one else did.